All right, everyone, we're on the home stretch. The final chapter of Lincoln is Dumb, and I fucking forgot to put it on the on the last chapter. Let's fix that right now. There we go. So, this is the last chapter. It is called Quick and Dirty Conclusions. So this will not be long, but hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, hold on to your hats. I don't want to be held accountable for what happens to them when you drop them. Okay? Thank you. Lincoln wandered away from the naked, exhausted girls and went into the other room to put his clothes back on. The entire sequence played out in complete silence as Lincoln contemplated how he'd ever be able to convince his family to forgive his over-the-top display of douchebaggery. Just as he walked out of the door, Dick QT called out to him, "Lincoln, wait! Don't you want to just go one more round?" Lincoln looked over his shoulder and gave her a faint smile. "No need," he said. "You've done enough for me already. Thank you." And with that, he exited the house, leaving the five girls with the task of explaining to the whatever the fuck family why their guest just decided to up and leave. That's a great guy, Lincoln. And thus, Lincoln learned a valuable lesson that day. When you're estranged from your family, the only remedy is a rock-hard pussy. But that didn't mean the healing process was over. On the plane ride home, Lincoln was plagued with memories of his horrible actions over the past few days. He was sure that it would take weeks, if not months, to even begin to repair the bonds he broke in that short span of time. The walk from the airport to his house, well, he walked all the way there? Oh, that's a long fucking walk, it sounds like. Quite possibly the longest and most difficult walk he'd ever taken in his life. His guilty conscience weighed heavily on him as he trudged up the driveway, reached the front door, rang the doorbell, and was promptly greeted with a cacophonous chorus of excited screams. "It's Lincoln! Lincoln's back! God be praised!" Oh, and in that moment, all his anxiety melted away. As soon as he walked into the door, he was surrounded and group hugged by his 12 family members, each of them crying tears of joy. "Oh, Lincoln, my beautiful boy, we missed you so much," cried Rita. "Our lives were empty and meaningless without you," cried Luann. "We'll promise we'll never do anything even remotely objectionable to you ever again," cried Lisa. After they released the hug, Rita took him by the hand and led him into the kitchen, where he found a jumbo-sized blackout cake and a new game system resting on the table. "It's all for you," said Lynn Sr. "I know this doesn't fully make up for all the horrible things we've done to you over the years, but it's a start, isn't it?" Lincoln Lounge just shrugged and started digging in without even bothering to say thank you. For you see, Lincoln learned a second lesson that day. When you're Lincoln Loud, the rules of common decency don't apply to you. "And Lincoln," said Lola, "I'm sorry for being such a raging dumpster fire. I deserved everything I got." Lincoln just laughed and ruffled Lola's hair. "You sure did, Lola. You sure did." Lori was tempted to speak up, but decided to keep her mouth shut. She didn't want to risk another perceived slight driving Lincoln back to Central Asia, especially since Bobby had just texted her saying he was ready to get back together with her. So Lincoln basically learned nothing. This doesn't mean their celebration would proceed without any interruptions, however. Just before Lincoln finished his cake, there was a sharp knock at the door. Curious, Rita excused herself from the room and took it upon herself to answer the door. When she opened up, she saw a stone-faced policeman standing just outside. After a brief, uncomfortable silence, the policeman spoke. "Did someone here ask for McNuggets?" The end. And so, my friends, we have finally completed Lincoln is Dumb. I think this fiction is hilarious. It parodies all the standard tropes of these Lincoln Leaves Forever fanfics. The melodramatic argument, the punching Lisa. I mean Lola. I've read multiple fanfictions where that happens. The Lynn being a bitch. The Lucy suicide attempt. The Luna being the only sister that he talks to. It's all there, and it's not parodied perfectly, but it's parodied great. I love reading this fan fiction every time, and like it just makes me smile because I actually I've been trying to make a parody of one of those fairy tale fan fictions where it's like, "Oh, Lucy's leaving forever because everyone thinks she's weak," and it's like I'm still trying to make it, but it's like I just hate those fan fictions because they're just all the same derivative. And it's the same thing with these kinds of fan fictions, but this guy, he actually made one that's entertaining, not too long, because God, some of those go 20 chapters. It's like I think you don't need, and like
it's just, I think it goes on forever. Like 20 chapters isn't that long, to be fair. I just came up with a random number, but like there are some other fan fictions that go so long, and with this kind of story, you don't really need to go that long. But doesn't really matter because this one's great, and people have their opinions, and that's fine. I'm not here to change anyone's minds, but that was a great fan fiction, and I hope you all read it, and I hope you all like it as well as I did. So until the next fan fiction, actually, I was gonna make this into a separate video, but now I just decide off the top of my head, what do you want me to read? As long as it's, I want to say the maximum is 5 chapters. As long as it's 5 chapters, and it doesn't even have to be of something I know, like, because I'll probably have enough backstory for me to get a basic gist. So request it in the comments of this video, subscribe to my channel, give the video a like, and I will read that fanfiction for you. But the only rules I have for it is it has to be like no more than 5 chapters, because it just feels too long, so. And also to try not to make the when you try and find one that you like, try not to find one that has way too long chapters. They don't have to be like totally short, but like not chapters that are like 10,000 words each. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And until then, stay beautiful, because I'm not responsible for it. Goodbye.